Original food store.
News 11 at 5 is simulcast on WWTC 1280.
Now the Twin Cities' fastest growing television news. News 11 with Paul Majors, Kirsten Lindquist, Jeff Passelt on sports, and meteorologist Paul Douglas.
Churning and turning clouds tell the tale of a wild weather afternoon in the metro area. These pictures were taken just 45 minutes ago as the early stages of a tornado formed over Golden Valley, stirring up the ground below. Good afternoon. Paul has the day off. The most severe day of weather so far this summer tops News 11 at 5.
The threatening weather sparked tornado warnings in the metro area and at least one twister touchdown.
Right now, eastern Minnesota remains under a severe storm watch. Western and northeastern Wisconsin are also included in that watch, and it's in effect until 10 tonight.
Paul Douglas is in the backyard with more on the weather situation. Paul?
Joan, Kirsten, you may be able to hear some growls and grumbles of thunder behind me. The threat of severe weather now seems to be diminishing across the metro. It could have been a deadly situation. Talking with folks down at the National Weather Service, a meso-low tracked right over the downtowns of Minneapolis and St. Paul, and that could have dropped a tornado at any time. Funnel clouds too numerous to mention, and in that kind of a situation where you have a developed wall cloud and a funnel cloud sticking out of the wall cloud, you have to err on the side of safety. The tornado warnings were issued, the sirens sounded. Let's update you with live Doppler. This is the close-in 50 scan. You can hear some of the thunder behind me now. As you can see, the reds showing up in the eastern metro. Still a threat of severe weather in places like Washington County, Dakota County, and western Wisconsin. Friends living down in Bay City in Pierce County right now receiving a very strong thunderstorm. There is strong activity now down around Rosemont, Farmington, Lakeville in Dakota County. Just light to moderate rain now from St. Paul on west. If you live in the eastern metro, still a potential for small hail and damaging winds. Again, there was a confirmed tornado touchdown in Waconia shortly after 3 o'clock. Numerous reports of funnels around Lake Minnetonka, Edina, Bloomington, Eden Prairie. Up towards Osseo, reports of funnels. Again, it could have been a much, much worse situation. Lots of reports of downed trees and power lines. Damage reports coming in as we speak, and we'll keep you posted. Time for me to sneak inside, I think.
Sounds like a good idea. We'll check with you later, Paul.
See you later.
Thank you. While the storms bring much-needed rain, the 1988 drought has already done its damage.
A crop report from the U.S. Ag Department tells the devastating story of drought-stricken farmers.
The latest crop report says 45% of the nation's corn is listed in either poor or very poor condition because of the drought. The country's soybeans have not been hit as hard yet. The report describes 20% as poor or very poor, and 54% of the soybeans in fair condition. And prices on the nation's grain markets continued their climb today. Prices for all grains jumped substantially, with soybeans up 18 cents after soaring 45 cents yesterday.
We have a team report on how the drought has soybean farmers fighting a pest problem and how farmers are pitching in to bail out farmers who need hay. We begin with Christy Arndt of our Mid-State Newsroom.
The Elfkeys first noticed the problem as yellow leaves at the base of their soybeans, but now at least 18 Minnesota counties are reporting spider mite invasions.
It's common this year because of the hot, dry summer. We haven't had much rains this year. And with the heat degree units being up, it makes the spider mites hatch and they move north quicker.
Mites suck the moisture out of the plants. Without rain, the water isn't replenished and the plants die. It's a huge problem caused by a tiny bug.
Greenish brownish specks that are right ahead of my thumbnail or fingernail. That's the guys.
A magnifying glass can't even give a good picture, but there were about 1,000 mites on this leaf.
Spider mites are always around, but this year the populations seem to have just exploded. That's because their favorite temperatures are somewhere between 90 and 100 degrees.
The Elfkeys caught their invasion early. Pesticides seem to have cleared up the problem, but the treatment cost $1,800 for 180 acres.
Well, it's the difference between getting something or nothing. That's the way I had looked at it, so that's why we did it.
The Elfkeys say with a little rain, their beans could still produce 30 bushels per acre, and that makes it all worthwhile. But while some farmers continue to battle drought problems, News 11's Eric Olson says some Wisconsin farmers are getting a lift.
Gary Dotto's a strong guy, but today he pulled a few muscles he never even knew he had. This high-quality hay from Washington State weighed in at 120 pounds of bale. Gary and other Amory area farmers loaded hay today in the 100-degree heat. The hay is heavy and it is not cheap, $7 a bale.
Because I know my son-in-law, I told him at least $5 grand for a boxcar that size, and that's got to be upfront money.
This is the first of 26 pay-for-hay train loads bound for Amory, coming from western states. The local bank and co-op here organized the hay lift as a way to help farmers get good hay at a fair price. And farmers who are short of hay can't load it up fast enough.
Cows got to eat. You got to keep them milking too, you know. If you don't keep them milking, you don't have any cash coming in. So you got to keep them milking.
Irv Christensen's hay load, $7,000 worth, should last him till winter. It's costing Irv plenty for this load of hay, but at least now he knows he has some. In Amory, Eric Olson, News 11, the Wisconsin Bureau.
Farmers who want information on buying the hay or when the next hay is coming in can call the Amory Hay Lift at 715-268-6760. People who wish to make a donation can also call that number.
This afternoon, investigators are trying to find the cause of a barn fire that burned down 5 generations of hard work. In less than 2 hours, more than 120 head of cattle were killed. A barn and 2 sheds destroyed in Dayton. Today, cleanup crews buried the debris and worked to put out the smoldering hay.
And the herd, you know, it's gone. That's your income, you know. It's really, that's going to be the problem, is the income.
Fire investigators are looking for a fan they think might have started that fire. Fans were used to keep the cattle cool.
The sizzling summer of 1988 may go down in history as the hottest yet. Today we tied the record of 36 days above 90 degrees set back in the Dust Bowl days. In Bloomington, the heat made fighting an overnight fire a tough battle for firefighters. The city called in all 6 of its stations to fight the blaze because of the extremely hot conditions. 3 firefighters were treated at a nearby hospital for smoke inhalation and heat exhaustion. At Lake Calhoun, people stayed cool by taking a smooth sail on the waters. A strong breeze moved the wind surface along at a good clip. And in Golden Valley, crews sweated out the heat today to drill a well at the Brookview Golf Course. The golf course needed the water as soon as possible so the fairways could be watered. The golf course uses City of Minneapolis water, and the watering ban restricts it from watering the whole course.
Well, maybe some of our water problems will be slightly alleviated now that we've had this big storm. Paul Douglas is out back to bring us up to date.
And why don't we pause and listen? Listen to this, Joan and Kirsten. Doesn't that sound nice?
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings about this squall line coming through. Obviously, we don't need the tornadoes and the funnel clouds and the damaging winds and hail. But is this ever a godsend? Not enough to break the drought, but many backyards will pick up ½ an inch to maybe an inch or more of rain this evening as what's left of this squall line moves through. Still plenty of light to moderate rain west of the metro. Another couple of hours of light to moderate rain on the way. There have been some reports of damage from the airport, Twin Cities International, shortly after 4 o'clock this afternoon on the Gold Concourse. Winds up to 71 miles an hour caused a chunk of metal to come through the glass. Luckily, very few people were on the Gold Concourse at that time. What few people were there were evacuated to the baggage claim area. No reports of injuries there. Lots of reports of downed trees and power lines, and we hope to have more video for you coming up here later on in the show and coming up on News 11 at 6 o'clock. First things first, here's our trivia quiz question, and I think it's relevant. It may be relevant. What on earth is a gust-nado? Is it a tornado that forms over water? A small, brief twister that forms on the edge of strong thunderstorm downdrafts or downbursts? A violent wind gust found near mountainous areas? And or strong tomato-damaging winds? One answer today. Place your bets. We'll have an answer for you coming up in about 20 minutes. Okay, here's Doppler. This is since about 3:30 this afternoon. This is the close-in 50 scan. And there is the tornado cell that produced a tornado on the ground in Waconia shortly after 3 o'clock. Numerous reports of funnel clouds around Lake Minnetonka, Long Lake, west of Excelsior, about 5 miles west of Excelsior. Police reports of a funnel cloud. Lots of funnel clouds throughout the metro. You can see the activity generally moving to the east at about 20 to 25 miles an hour. Thankfully, it does seem to be weakening at this time. Live Doppler, here's the big scan, and you can see what's happening. Big thunderstorms now all the way from Duluth to Pine City through the metro southwestward, the vicinity of Owatonna, down towards Albert Lee and Austin. As you can see, much of the state getting soaking rains at this hour. Let's check the satellite view, and you can get a close-up look. There is the squall line responsible for wild thunderstorms. Thunderhead tops up to about 45 to 50,000 feet. There's a close-up view. The sun is going to come out tomorrow, and we should have no problems busting that record that Joan told you about. We're forecasting highs tomorrow up near 100 degrees as we head back into the soup. Again, the threat of severe weather does seem to be diminishing now across much of the metro area. Let's check out where that severe storm watch is one more time. In effect, 10 o'clock, much of east central, southeastern Minnesota, a good chunk of Wisconsin. The map tomorrow, once again, you'll be able to enjoy a free sauna in the comfort and privacy of your own backyard. Up near 100 degrees, this front forecast to stall, and we're going to stay in the soup at least mid to upper 90s, probably through the end of the week. So again, we sure need this rain. It's coming at a good time. Forecast for tonight, severe storm watch in effect till 10 o'clock. Thunderstorms beginning to taper. Again, they could still be severe east of the St. Croix. Our friends in western Wisconsin, Dakota County, and Goodhue County should stay alert for possible warnings. Mid-70s by morning. Could be a touch of fog. Hot and sunny tomorrow, up near 100 degrees. A lesser chance of thunder late in the day. We'll keep you posted on the damage reports and what's happening here on the cutting edge of meteorology.
Well, here's a quick question. You got 10 words or less. Why aren't we getting any relief after this storm?
Well, basically, 10 words or less. That's a challenge, Kirsten.
Yeah, I know.
The jet stream dipped a little farther south today. Okay. That allowed these violent thunderstorms to spawn. The jet stream is forecast to lift north again tomorrow. That means back into the soup, and that was more than 10 words.
Yeah, thank you very much, 50, but that was a good answer, Paul.
Thank you later.
Still to come on News 11 at 5, a happy ending for a newborn who underwent surgery just hours after birth.
Along with his News 11 Fast Fact.
Enough. Deal.
Did somebody say deal? Your Dodge dealer has hot numbers and big rebates on almost everything in stock. Get an imported Dodge Colt, save up to $989. Ram 50 pickup, save up to $1106. Or Dodge Vistas, save $500. So if you want a great deal, hey!
Well, are you going to deal?
Did somebody say deal?
For years, you've known us as Northwestern Bell.
Now you're going to know us by a new name, U.S. West Communications.
We're joining with Mountain Bell and Pacific Northwest Bell to serve you better.
We'll still be your local phone company, but we'll have the expanded resources of a total communications company.
Bringing you today's newest technology to meet your changing needs.
West? That's a name I can live with.
Now Northwestern Bell is U.S. West Communications.
Old Home listens to the people.
The people say Old Home cottage cheese tastes the best. Large people tell us it tastes the best. Medium-sized people tell us it tastes the best. Small people and very, very small people say Old Home tastes the best. That's how Old Home serves the people.
My new shirt. Mom's gonna kill me. No problem. That's what washing machines are for, right? Right.
Another unreported stain. You know, the kind your family doesn't tell you about till it's through the dryer and set for life. That's why you should add Biz Bleach to every wash load to find many unreported stains and lift them up and away. Even though unreported stains have a way of slipping into your wash, they can't get by Biz.
2 more Minnesotans have been diagnosed as having AIDS this week, and that story tops our healthcare segment this afternoon. According to a weekly report from the State Health Department, there are now 382 known cases of AIDS. No one has died of AIDS this past week, but so far 217 Minnesotans have died since keeping records of the disease was started. Cast members from the Minnesota Opera Company and Dudley Riggs' Brave New Workshop have helped raise more than $2,300 to go toward finding a cure for AIDS. More than 300 people turned out to watch a variety show. The money raised during the benefit will go to the Minnesota AIDS Project.
Also in healthcare this afternoon, an 11-day-old baby whose fingertips were cut off when she was born went home from the hospital today. Kristen Meckley's hand is still bandaged and metal pins remain in the 2 fingers that were severed when she was delivered by cesarean section. But her mom, Diane, says the doctors at North Memorial Hospital performed a miracle when they did the reattachment operation, and she is ready to nurse her daughter back to health.
The care is going to be just to keep an eye on the fingers and to check and make sure that their color and temp stays the way it should be, like it is now. And other than that, it's going to be just normal baby care.
The Meckleys live in Wild Rose, North Dakota, and will bring Kristen back to the Twin Cities for follow-up care in 2 weeks.
This afternoon, we have not one, but 2 11 Country Good Neighbors to tell you about. Francis and Gwen Lawrence of Bloomington have given 22 years of service to the Catholic Charities Foster Home Program. During those years, the Lawrences have taken in 166 babies from troubled homes. The Lawrences know the loving care these babies need. That's because they have 8 children and 26 grandchildren of their own. So we salute Francis and Gwen for making Bloomington and 11 Country such a great place to live.
Busy
Boy,
people.
That's something. Still to come on News 11 at 5, Tom Ryther will have some advice for all you golfing fans at home.
And if you're wondering who's a year older today, here are some famous people celebrating birthdays. We'll be right back.
Shop Best Buy sale this summer, and you could win this JVC sailboard.
Best Buy is giving away 1 sailboard in each store. That's 40 in all, and it's a $500 value. While you're at Best Buy, you can save on a complete AM/FM cassette car stereo system, deck, and speakers for just $29.99. Or JVC T120 video cassettes, just $2.99 each.
There are more bargains in every department. It's the sale of the summer, now through Tuesday at Best Buy.
Remember that special feeling called summer? Remember the taste of summer nectarines, so tangy, sweet, and good for you?
Summer fruits from California, fresh from the tree, taste 'em and see.
They have that special flavor that only summer can bring. But like summer, they'll soon be just a sweet memory.
Summer fruits, it wouldn't be summer without summer fruits.
I'm Tom Brokaw. Tonight on NBC Nightly News, President Reagan, a major political reversal. He has decided not to veto that plant closing bill. Also, this brutal heat. What is the impact on our health, on the economy? And a 1984 Olympic gold medalist in gymnastics, trying once again to make the '88 team against long odds. These stories and more news tonight on NBC Nightly News.
U.S. West Direct Yellow Pages, the one that gets used.
You know, some things will always be considered classics.
Like the classic money-saving specials you'll find year after year during back-to-school time at Mills Fleet Farm.
Enjoy the classic fit of Lee Men's pre-washed dark indigo jeans. Straight leg boot cut or trim fit rider styles, now only $16.69.
Or find classic good looks in Lee Junior Missy black banded yoke jeans, affordable style at just $28.99.
So add it all up, it makes good sense.
Before heading back to school, the place you want to go is Mills Fleet Farm.
A notorious stretch of road in St. Paul was the site of a rollover accident today. A semi carrying boxed furniture flipped over on its side on the Shepherd Road ramp to Highway 5. James Ham of Jordan was driving the truck and was not seriously injured.
From the update desk this afternoon, jury selection is underway in the trial of a St. Paul man who's accused of killing his father and dumping the body in the Nevada desert.
Andrea Shane is in the newsroom with details on this story and others. Andrea?
Well, Joan and Kirsten, 35-year-old Peter Murr allegedly murdered his father, Ted, back in January. Today in Ramsey Court, jury selection did begin, and officials say the trial may start as soon as tomorrow. Murr is charged with second-degree murder and first-degree manslaughter. Officials expect the trial to last about a week and a half. A North Minneapolis apartment building that was rammed with a front-end loader during a crack raid will be up for rent again soon. Workers are now remodeling the building on Golden Valley Road. Bars, which police said the crack dealers had installed to keep police out, will be removed, and the hole in the wall from where the front-end loader barged through is now a new wall with a window. According to one workman, the new owners hope to rent to older people. In Update Notes this afternoon, the Minnesota Appeals Court is expected to decide in 90 days whether Daniel Wickham's sentence was too harsh. The 18-year-old is serving a 30-year prison sentence for killing his mother and stepfather in their New Scandia home in 1986. And officials say the Elbow Lake police chief has been suspended for 5 days for allegedly shooting and killing a cat. Alan LaValle was accused last month of shooting the stray cat after residents complained it was chasing birds. News 11's Bernie Grace has an update on the storm now. He is in Medina near the Corcoran line where there are reports of downed power lines. Bernie?
That's right, Andrea. It appears some of the worst damage from this storm is here in Corcoran in western Hennepin County. As you see behind me, we're on Highway 19, just north of Highway 55. Several power poles and lines blew over when the storm came through. Now, NSP figures in the metro area upwards of about 20,000 customers are without power. Carol Newman is also with me at the moment, and she was here when the storm came through. It was about an hour ago. And Carol, can you tell us, come on over here, what did it sound like? What did it look like?
Well, it got dark really fast, and the wind started blowing really hard, and it started raining and hailing, and all I did was close the windows and stay in the house till it stopped.
She took cover. Okay. But you know, most people out here are pretty pleased with this storm because it's bringing some much needed rain. Back to you.
Okay, Bernie, thank you. And of course, we'll have more on that story at 6 o'clock. Kirsten and Joan, back to you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Andrea. Well, this afternoon, Make-A-Wish Minnesota is counting the benefits of News 11's participation in the Goofy Games. Team captain Steve Carroll presented a $1,000 check to Carla Blomberg of Make-A-Wish. Steve, along with Viking Steve Jordan and Chris Dolman and Waseca County school teacher Karen Simmons, raised the money, competing in a variety of fun events last April in Florida.
Tom Rather is in for Jeff Passolt, and he promises us that this golf tip he's going to tell us about is not his own, so listen carefully.
Everybody will be turning off, right? I hope Jeff is watching. He's playing a lot of golf on his vacation.
Hopefully not today.
This will help you keep the ball in the fairway. Yeah, right. You're going to get a lot of distance on those drives now, wouldn't you? Well, during the recent U.S. West Seniors Golf Tournament, I noticed several of the top senior pros getting advice from a local teacher who uses a scientific method of helping correct mistakes. Here is your free lesson from Rod Liedenberg.
There seems to be a general confusion that to hit the ball to the target that perhaps we should aim our feet and body at the target. Now, as you can see, the lines that we've drawn here on the ground, one line goes to the stake out there, which is what we call the target line, and another line here is parallel left of it. This demonstrates the proper alignment, one in which my feet and body are parallel left of where I'm trying to strike the ball. But of course, if I get confused and somehow I aim my feet and body at the target, well, that means that my ball line or my target line is going to be to the right. Now, the next thing that follows is compensation by the golfer to try and find a way to the target. And the next most common compensation is then to turn the shoulders and the body to try and find where the target is. Now, this almost guarantees that we're going to get a swing that comes from outside in and over and across the top of the ball. So the best thing that you can do to start to ensure that you hit a straight shot is to make sure that when you address the ball, that your feet are parallel left of where you're trying to go, so that your shoulders and body have a chance to deliver the club down the line.
That's what I've been doing wrong. Okay, Rod Liedenberg can be contacted through the Rolling Green Country Club in Hamel. There's only one thing, USGA rules say you cannot paint those lines on the fairway.
Oh, really?
Doggone it.
Bring them with you. Thank you, Tom. Still to come on News 11 at 5, Paul Douglas will be back to answer the trivia question.
And we'll be right back.
Welcome to Iowa, a place where people say good morning and mean it. Where a platter of bacon and eggs doesn't cost more than a couple of dollars, and where words like honesty and value still ring true. For over 50 years, Iowa has been the home of Dubuque Meats, and the inspiration for the good, honest flavor Dubuque brings to your table. Welcome to Iowa, and welcome to Dubuque.
At other optical stores, making glasses fast means making easy prescriptions.
But at LensCrafters, our in-store labs can custom craft even difficult prescriptions in about an hour.
LensCrafters made my bifocals in 45 minutes.
I think LensCrafters give you top quality.
At LensCrafters, fast means even difficult prescriptions in about an hour.
LensCrafters, custom crafted eyeglasses in about an hour. Burnsville Center, Southdale Center, Lomans Plaza, Crystal Shopping Center, and now in Suburban Square.
After the World Series, folks called us the most valuable athletes in Minnesota. Well, I've seen Minnesota's most valuable athlete. Perfect form, hard as a rock. But you won't see him in the Dome.
The Greco-Roman statue of the perfect athlete, Doryphorus, one of only 4 in the world, at the Minneapolis Institute of Arts.
Not bad for a guy with a broken arm, huh?
One more step, one more word, learning to trust in a friend.
From day one, every baby goes right to work, growing and learning in a style all our own. Hi, I'm Christopher Reeve. We'll see how babies and parents discover each other and discover the world. For kids' sake, join me for a very fresh look at the first year of life, the Discovery Year.
Wednesday night at 7 on TV 11.
Yesterday, Paul Douglas baked. Today, he is dripping out in the backyard. Are you not?
Something for the whole family, you're right.
You bet.
Hi, Joan. Hi, Kirsten. I may be imagining it, but I swear the lawn is greening up before my very eyes. Things looking a lot healthier out here. The plants, the veggies, sipping and slurping away, receiving a long overdue drink. And let's just make this official. This is our rain gauge. And to be perfectly honest, we had 1/10 of an inch of rain this morning. Currently, it's probably pretty hard to see. We're up to 6/10 of an inch of rain in the backyard. So even taking away that 1/10 of an inch, we've received 1/2 an inch of rain just from the squall line. And as you can see, they're like show and tell here. And here, the rain continues to fall. Let's check Doppler, get a little more scientific, show you exactly where all this stuff is. The real severe threat now is in western Wisconsin, Pierce, Polk, and St. Croix counties, all the way from Duluth through the metro southwestward to about Mankato. A pretty good swath of much-needed rain. Forecast tonight, that severe storm watch in effect until 10 o'clock. Thunderstorms beginning to taper off. Still a chance of severe weather east of the St. Croix over the next couple of hours. Mid-70s by morning. Already 73 in the backyard. We went from 98 to 73 after the rains hit. Back into the soup tomorrow, I'm afraid. Hot sun up near 100. A lesser chance of thunder late in the day. Will it cool off? I'm afraid not. We're looking at mid to upper 90s. Thunderstorms likely again on Thursday. That's good news. A slight chance of thunder Friday and Saturday. What the heck is a gusnado? Joan and Kirsten.
We both like D.
Is it gusnado or gusnado?
It could be gusnado.
Okay.
A guster, is it, huh?
I'm going to go with B. Yeah, let's go B.
B is absolutely right. Thunderstorms produce strong updrafts and downdrafts. Sometimes these violent downdrafts, when they reach the ground, they're called downbursts, and along the perimeters, along the edges, they can spin up little whirlpools, little mini tornadoes. That may be what went through the metro late this afternoon. Again, we'll have more damage reports and a weather update for you on News 11 at 6.
Okie doke.
Towel up.
See you then.
Bye. Finally, something special, a celebration of Polish tradition that will make you kick up your heel.
Dancers in authentic costume danced at NSP Plaza at noon today, so we leave you with part of their performance. See you at 6.
Have a nice evening.
Now at Highland, our man Norm is counting inventory.
272.
Got the time, Norm?
123. 120.